And so we're going to look at it. Some of the people up here are going to be working very hard on that. And we had a little conversation. I think it's going to be very interesting. We'll see if we can bring it back in large form, add a lot. But I think it represents something. Right now, it's a big hulk that's sitting there rusting.
Open Alcatraz. I crunch the numbers so that you don't have to. And if you've been living under a rock, no pun intended, as to why I'm doing this video, it's because President Trump said that he wants to reopen Alcatraz, which closed in 1963. Now, for the purpose of this discussion, we're going to set aside the legal, political, environmental hurdles, as well as the fact that it is a preserved national landmark, and we're going to just focus on reopening. Now, let's work a little bit backwards and start with staffing and logistics. So that would run you about $50 to $100 million a year. The biggest reason that Alcatraz closed in 63 was because the extremely high costs of operating the facility. Because it sits on its own island, it would require boat service running pretty much round the clock. And when you're dealing with inmate transfers, you're also going to have helicopters having to run pretty much around the clock. And that's not including food and medical, which will have to be brought in every single day. Now, continuing to work backwards, let's talk about security modernization. This prison was never set up for modern day security. It was built in 34, closed in 63. So to update that, you're talking about $100 to $250 million. To name a few things of what that would entail, you're talking about modern day security systems, control rooms, biometric access systems, as well as modern day surveillance. So now let's talk about the major structural overhaul, because remember, it hasn't been used as a prison in 55 years. Buildings have been deteriorating. They've been preserved, but not brought up to standard. Let's start with utilities. Things like water, electricity, sewage. They have either been non-functional or outdated for decades and would all need complete replacement. As we all know, California has a lot of earthquakes. And when they built this prison in 1934, they didn't really care about that. There were no codes. But in 2025, there are. So they would have to do some earthquake retrofitting to get it up to speed and code there, as well as getting the buildings up to code in general to modern safety standards. Now let's talk about the cost. Just to get you to walk in the door of it, modernization of it, updating it would be $200 to $400 million. Your security systems, $100 to $250 million. And then staffing alone would be $50 to $100 million. And that is before you have to fight all the other regulatory compliances, things like that, which would be another $50 to $200 million. So basically you're looking at between $400 and $950 million, and that's before any expansions and any other unknown expenses. This could go well into the $1 to $1.5 billion range.
All right, cool. Thought that was pretty interesting. I know it's kind of long, but I thought that was pretty interesting to go in depth on what it would take to bring Alcatraz back. Hey, man, the way these Negroes running around here in the street, I'm all for it. How about y'all?
Yeah, it's weird that they actually bringing that up. That lets you know like something could be going down. Like it's just, you know, out of the ordinary. They just talking about Alcatraz, so that's kind of crazy.
Enzo,
So I'm all in favor of it, honestly, because remember how he was like, "Oh, we're gonna deport United States citizens, the worst of the worst." You don't need to if you upgrade Alcatraz. I don't care. Leave it as is. No one's getting off that island to begin with. Put the P3DOs, put the school shooters, put the people that do the worst of the worst of the worst that are beyond a reasonable doubt. There's no shadow of a doubt that they're not guilty. Put them on that island. They ain't getting off.
Don't we got a Guantanamo Bay for that?
Nah. Put them there. That's worse.
Yeah. Alcatraz got a better. It just got a better
Alcatraz would be like a luxurious hotel if they update it, especially for the immigrants. It'll be hot. Trust me. It'll be like the Pablo Escobar prison.
Wow. Gray.
I'm gonna go off of what Anthony is saying right here is that it just costs too much. Like Trump is supposed to be the person saving money. Like I understand like security, if you put somebody out there, they can't escape, but because of all the water that they're surrounded by. And I think that's like in Angola and Louisiana too, like it's surrounded by water. So I understand to an extent where it's like, okay, like people can escape. But I feel like now with technology and everything, like the cost to like get that up and running when it's like I think it's owned by a national park now. Just to house those people, I don't think it's worth it. You got a lot of prisons where it's like, and even if you escape these days, you're gonna get caught.
So how about we keep the tourist part of it, and you just let the tourists come see these degenerates behind bars, and we could just act like it's an animal show.
That'll be the real Beyond Scared Straight.
Yeah, right.
2 birds, 1 stone.
That's what I say. You could pay to see them. All the school shooters, all of them. You could pay to see how they living. Diddy, put Diddy up there.
Put Diddy up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Did he deserve to be on Alcatraz?
R. Kelly can perform.
Shit, to put Epstein's corpse there. This is the new Epstein Island.
I think though for there, you need like
the
Hannibal
entertainment part.
Lecters. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like Hannibal Lecter, you need like serial killers, like people that's like got like some real like destruction under their belt. I feel like that because the people that were there before was Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, like real notorious criminals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm saying we got some real ones now though.
We do.
Yeah.
All the people that are in ADX Florence, put them there. The Alcatraz of the Midwest.
Yep. Those are Timothy McVeigh, the Unabomber, all of them. And then we could just charge people to come see
put El
it.
Chapo there.
Who?
He ain't El Chapo. He ain't escaping Alcatraz. If he can escape Alcatraz, let it be free.
He deserved to be free if he can
He
get out of it.
deserved to be free, exactly.
There's somebody like El Chapo that needs to be there. Somebody like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we got a guest that just dropped in. Alpha, the first one. You want to introduce yourself?
Hey, what's up? Can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah.
If you can't hear me, just let me know. I live in the mountains of Southern California, SoCal. So sometimes our internet get kind of crazy. All right, let me give you a little background on me. Shout out to the host. We had a good discussion online. I presented a solution to the student loan problem that y'all was talking about that I hope y'all discuss at another time. But this does tie into you guys' subject in a conversation about Michelle Obama. All right. I'm right now finishing my PhD and my doctorate in natural medicine. I have a master's degree in forensic science. I have a bachelor's degree in biology and a bachelor's degree in philosophy. Yes, I am that black guy who played the sports and served in the military. I'm the one they've been talking about that they can't seem to get to tie down. So I'm not bragging. I'm just being honest. And I'm a former dope boy. Yes, I used to sell drugs. I've been shot, all that stupid stuff. Okay, so I'm not coming to you as perfect or some academic that's out of touch, that don't know what's going on from the hood, all that good stuff. All right. So when I speak, you might want to take a few notes because I'm writing about this in my thesis as a moment right now. Right now, we are living in a situation where we are seeing a paradigm shift that's going on. We have a paradigm shift that is collapsing. That paradigm shift is called feminism. Feminism is collapsing before our eyes right now. It is happening in real time. Michelle Obama is not a feminist. I repeat, Michelle Obama is not a feminist. My argument tonight, gentlemen, and all of you gentlemen seem pretty level-headed and squared away. Michelle Obama and all the other black women have never been feminists because there's never been a black feminist on this planet, period. That's my argument. Michelle Obama is a womanist. Look this up. Someone Google it. There's something called feminism and there's something called womanism. Look it up. Womanism.
I want you to say that energy for the main event.
Go ahead.
We got like 2 or 3 other subjects.
That's my argument. Go
glad
ahead.
to have you here.
Go ahead.
Seems like you're gonna bring some spice up in here. So what we
got a whole lot of spice. Trust me, I got a whole lot of spice. I can give you some insight. I'm in Hollywood, baby. I play basketball with most of the porn stars y'all watch on TV. Shout out to them. Go ahead.
All right, so what we talking about now? So what I usually do is run a video. I'll make it quick. I run a video and then we comment on it. So the one I just ran was Trump is trying, I think he is going to reopen Alcatraz. So we just going through, is it worth it? And stuff like that, and getting everybody's opinion on it. You have an opinion about that? Or have you
Yeah, I
heard
do.
about that?
I do. I used to serve in the military. I went from green to gold. I was an army and I was airborne in the army, and I went to the Air Force to go into the officer program, and I got out because I got sick of George W. Bush and all those wars. All right. So the bottom line is this: when Trump talks about, oh, he's trying to get rid of the terrorists, he's trying to get rid of the worst people. He can do that already one way. He can send them to Guantanamo Bay. Guantanamo Bay in Cuba has never closed. You guys do know that. So that's already there. When he say I can send the worst of the worst people, meaning Americans, when they say Trump is trying to send people outside of the country. When he's saying that, he's talking about the mass murderers, the guys who are. We do have domestic terrorism here right now in America right now, and they're not all Latino MS-13. We do have Islamic radicalists. We have white supremacist radicalist groups that are self-declared enemies of American state. So when Trump does make that claim, it's not just xenophobic. He's telling the truth. So he already can send them to Guantanamo Bay. That's already on the books. He now opened a new lane, which is what El Buque, shout out to him, in El Salvador. He can send people down there to the CCOT. And now, obviously, to calm down all the foolishness, where people say we don't want to send out of the country, he's now reopened Alcatraz. And I'm in the state of California, Southern California. I'm 4 hours away from San Francisco. So yes, that is why he's doing it, because they do have self-declared radicals here in America that are anti-America. It is what it is. You don't hear about it, but I got a lot of buddies who work in the alphabet agencies, okay? And it is true. They've showed you this in Hollywood. What they say, Hollywood always show you before it happened. If you think I'm lying, go look at that movie called Sicario. Go look at that movie, Sicario 1 and 2. They showed you what they're about to do and what they're doing it, and they're executing it right now. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just try to give you a visualization of what's going on. In Sicario, what did old boy say? What did he tell the Secretary of State? He said, what do you want to do? He said, we want to go to war. He said, with who? Everybody. Everybody. He said it just like that. And he said, I'm going to have to get dirty. He said, I'm going to have to get a little dirty. He said, that's why we brought you here. That's exactly why we brought you here, to get dirty. Okay? And what did they do on the border? They declared all the people that's immigrants coming over as what? Foreign hostile, terrorists. The drug cartels are terrorists now. So that's what's going on, gentlemen. That's why they opened up Alcatraz. Trump saying, screw it. I don't have to send them over to Guantanamo Bay. I don't have to send them to the CCOT in El Salvador. I can ship their ass right out there to the Rock. So that's what's going on, if you want me to give my opinion on that.
And do you agree with it overall?
Well, let me say this, and this is for black men. And shout out to any white man or red man or whoever other color that's listening to this. In particular to black men, you know, they do as much as they can. Shout out to Kanye West before he went crazy. On one of his songs, what did he say? He said, we wasn't supposed to live past 25. Joke's on you, we still alive. Remember that in that song? Mm-hmm. Under 25 for black men is the age where they try to get us in the prison system. It is what it is. I'm an 80s baby. I'm a millennial. I lost a lot of homeboys to the prison system. It is what it is, man. Selling dope, doing stupid shit, trying to impress chicken heads. You know what I'm saying? And so when they start labeling people terrorists, you got to be careful, because now a guy who is a dope boy, a trap star, shout out to Jeezy, right? When they become that, if they elevate that status from just drug pusher to terrorist, there you go. Now you got a black man or a white man, because there's a lot of white boys pushing dope. Shout out to Breaking Bad. Remember that movie? That TV show pushing meth and fentanyl. They push that hard. That's what we say down south. I'm from New Orleans. We say hard. There's that hard, that white. They pushing that hard. Okay? So when you look at that situation and you go from just a drug dealer, I think they did this, but I think they label fentanyl. I believe it's on the books where if you are a fentanyl pusher, they can charge you with murdering. That's how bad it is for white people. They call them zombies. You see them out there. I think that's
justified though.
Well, if it's justified
enough, it take the actually unalive somebody is crazy.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying that your product which is drugs, you know, narcotics, all that stuff, is killing people, is murdering people. So
Yeah.
when you get into that context of elevating crimes that are seen as just crimes that should be just domestic crimes to now it's at a national security level, man, that's a whole nother ball game, brother. Because when you get to the national security level, let's be honest, the Constitution gets very thin when you get to that level. It gets very thin. It becomes like international warfare, man. And I was in the military. You're talking about a whole nother ball game there. So do I think that Trump should be taking terrorist people, not drug dealer terror, but just overall terrorist radicals out of the population? Absolutely, I support that 100%. But I'm very cautious when you start getting into labeling certain domestic crimes as terrorism. You know what I'm saying? That's where I kind of say we got to kind of pump the brakes, because American citizens, black or white, you still are a citizen. You still have protection under the Constitution. And even though you commit a felony, you still have certain constitutional protections. But if they take it to another level of saying you're a terrorist, man, that's a whole nother ball game, man. That right there, like I said, you're getting into a gray area. So my position on him opening Alcatraz, I think is a good thing, because it can keep people that they do identify as terrorists here in America. But it's kind of caution, because what becomes a terrorist? You see
Hold
what I'm
on,
saying?
Alpha,
Yeah.
let me interrupt you. Kim was interviewed by Nora over the weekend. I think Nora was some Christian event, and the name of your stuff is Real Woman, Real Talk. You want to introduce yourself? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Can't hear you. All right. So I guess we'll wait till she come back. But
you can just keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. We go around, let everybody talk. So and then it's like an hour. So I might interrupt you just to get to the next subject.
Oh,
But,
no, well,
yeah.
I don't want to take up too much time, but that's my two main arguments as far as the topic y'all talking about, and it ties into the student loan problem. And I'll end my intro on this. A lot of this stuff, fellas, kind of going back to one key problem. And like I say, shout out to my white brothers out there. No offense, but I'm gonna tell the truth. As they say down south, tell the truth and shame the devil. I'm from New Orleans. That's an old saying. I'm gonna tell the truth right now. The main problem right now with the white society is what? They're not having babies. Period. They ain't having babies. That's worldwide. That's global. And everything they're doing right now, and specifically with Donald Trump, is trying to get that birth rate up. And the fentanyl crisis ties into Alcatraz. Because if they can start labeling fentanyl pushers as terrorists, there you go. We can get them out of here. That's what the border thing is about. That fentanyl is tearing them up, man. I'm out here on the West Coast. I don't know where y'all at, but brother, we got almost probably 500,000 people homeless out here. It is what it is. They're everywhere, dude. They are everywhere, and they on that stuff hard. Of course, they're gonna show you black people in the pictures, you know, to kind of make that whole point. But bro, it's a lot of white people going down heavy out here, and it's that fentanyl. So all this stuff ties into the birth rate, and it all ties into feminism. And my overall argument for y'all topic today is there is no black feminist. Michelle Obama is the last of her.
Alpha, he's gonna play a video of that at the end.
We gonna tie to it at the end. But
Okay.
from what you said, we'll just kind of interrupt and let you know, because we gotta keep going.
Good. So that's it. Go ahead.
Okay. Anybody got something to add to what he said before we go to the next subject?
Easy then go.
Easy.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to say that it's gonna cost a lot of money to open up Alcatraz, man, and that funding is gonna be a lot, and all that transportation back and forth and all that. I don't know, man. We'll see. I guess. Shit, I don't know.
He be creating jobs. Somebody got to drive the boat. That's what they complain about. Say we losing jobs under Trump. All right, so I'm gonna go to the next subject. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but if you haven't, pay attention, and we're gonna come back and discuss it.